So I am back. I actually had some problems with my SD card. I have to plug my phone and charge it. Basically, the issue, no idea what the issue was. It said that it didn't have any storage, but it did, and it recommended me formatting. I did that. Now it's working. It said that it has this new game or whatever this is, and I have no idea what the fuck it is. Basically, what I was doing was I have more chocolate. Helga, you eat a lot of dark chocolate? Yes, I don't like milk chocolate and I don't like white chocolate that much. Maybe sometimes it's good. Sometimes I like eating like strawberry or Oreo cookie chocolate, but I prefer dark chocolate, like no sugar, nothing like a sweetener or stevia, anything. I just like the very like, you know, bitter, I suppose, like rough taste of the original chocolate. And I have my water, the Perky Penguin. Fuck off. Okay, so that's the one. I love it. Um, so yeah, I was thinking of watching here fucking new game. It doesn't focus. Please focus. Please. Thank you. Maybe zoom. Yeah. And let's see what this is all about, because it said that it is for the Nintendo Switch 2. You can also buy it in this one. Hollow Knight Selection is the epic sequel to Hollow Knight, the award-winning action-adventure. Journey to all new lands, discover new powers, battle vast hordes of bugs and beasts, and uncover secrets tied to your nature and your past. And what is the trailer about? Okay, so it is like an anime, like that seems Japanese, Chinese, Korean to me. Like the like this drawing style is not European or American. That's what I mean. That's Asian, Eastern Asian actually. Okay. Sounds nice. Think I like it. I think maybe I purchase it. I like Eastern Asian shit, like games, the fashion, the movies. Well, I have to be honest here. There are some Japanese movies that I honestly don't get at all. Too gory, too much blood for me, for my taste. There was, I don't remember, there was a Netflix one, and it was based on Japanese myths, and it was, fuck off. It was about a woman who had a daughter, and if you are watching this video, no, don't go and watch this cartoon on Netflix. I didn't go to watch it per se. I actually went on Netflix to see what the crap was about, because I am a theologian, I am a prophet, I am an ex-mystic, and I wanted to see what demonic bullshit they have put on Netflix from that part of the world and this part of the world is watching. Like, instead of like stopping talking about that, we are talking even in the West about that. That's what I mean, and that's why I got there. But I definitely shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do that either. But the cartoon was about, and that's what makes me feel very like uncomfortable with some Japanese like anime stories. Like, if you are a Japanese or Eastern Asian and this is offensive, just listen and see, maybe you have something to learn from me. Okay, like, I'm not hating you, I'm not bashing you, I'm just saying my perspective as a theologian here. I'm not bashing anybody's culture in here. I never do that. So I have no idea why you guys should like combine like cartoons in the West. I don't know what you guys are doing back home, but in the West, the cartoons are usually for kids, and yeah, adults can obviously watch cartoons, but the point with cartoons is to have like a child heart to watch the cartoon. So yes, it is family friendly, yes, it is for kids, but the requirement for an adult in the West to watch a cartoon, Disney, Barbie, whatever the fuck this is, it is to be a kid in your heart. You guys back in Asia, I think you have flipped this narrative, and you guys have like the cartoon is like an aesthetic, and you can have adult cartoons, not adult cartoons, like with gory elements for kids like Heidi and so on. Well, one thing that I'm not very much minding, to be fair, is the fuck, I forgot the name, hentai. I don't mind that one, but even though I don't mind it, I mind some of the elements that some hentai have. Some hentai are very misogynistic, very gory. Some of the scenes are completely unhinged in the most humane manner possible, and you should think of that a little bit. Like, yeah, use that for that purpose, I suppose, but don't include misogynism and gory elements. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, that's what I mean. But speaking now about cartoons, I see that there are movies in Japan that are so unhinged, and I'm honestly concerned why the Western people are watching these movies instead of calling them out like that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? So back in the Netflix one, the guy that like told me on Reddit about the movie, and yeah, he didn't tell me specifically to me. He wrote a thread about that, and he was a Westerner, and he said, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And I was like, "Was that really bad?" Because usually the Westerners are really like, we are very much like the good host Europe, America. We don't mind other people's cultures. We are very interested. We are very polite. We are very kind. We open our houses to host them. Yes, this is not usually the idea you have for the Western society. Usually you believe that, yeah, the colonizers from Europe and America, and you think we are a type of like crappies people. No, we are not. We're actually liking um, learning about other cultures. That's what I mean. And if you see, like, if you're a Westerner like I am, and you see another Westerner being like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Yeah, that was horrible. If they say it was horrible, trust me, it was horrible, because usually we don't speak like that. And he said about this movie that I'm talking right now that is on Netflix, it was a traditional Japanese story about a woman that had a daughter, that she was infected by a monster, and she didn't have internal organs. She actually had layers of skin. Think of it like the earth, that it has like the mantle, the core, the outer layer, and so on. So you don't really have like just like ground all the way down, or like hollow earth, like the pagans say, like you have like a ground and then you have another earth underneath, like, you know, like in the manner, I suppose, that Julius Verne, hope I pronounce his name correctly, wrote in the voyage in the journey in the center of the earth. Is that how you say the title in English? Sorry, I have read the book in Greek, so I don't really know how to say it in English, to be fair. So yeah, the concept in the story was that the girl was like that. She had layers of skin all the way to the core, and that was like a curse. And she found out when she had an accident. She found out in the doctor. The doctor told her mom she's infected, and the mother went ballistic that her daughter is like cursed. And the concept was that each layer acted like a tree, kind of like how are trees in our world. Usually they are, each layer is their age. So if you have 40 layers, the tree is 40 years old, right? That's what they said in the story. So the girl, let's say she was 24, like she had 24 versions of her inside of her, and that's quite fucked up. As a theologian speaking, it's fucked up. It's fucking fucked up. Like, we can't explain it in any better manner. And the mother went very nuts after that, and she started speaking to the second-year-old girl inside her adult daughter. The girl responded, and she actually took off each layer. I'm trying to be very mild in my description. She took every layer out, and she was left with a face of 2 years old. And yes, there was blood in the fucking cartoon, all this, but her rest of the body was like a I don't know how to describe it. It was brownish and very skeletal, like. So she wasn't a baby in her entire body. The entire body was 24. Her head was 2, and she was behaving like 2. And it was the most fucking creepy thing I have ever seen in my life. And then the mother killed herself, and the story ended. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I went in the Reddit and I saw the Westerners said, did you guys consume something to make this? And the Japanese person, I'm not roasting Japanese people, I'm explaining myself here. A Japanese person said underneath, no, you shouldn't speak like that. You are a Westerner. You don't understand my culture. This is my. Are you serious? Like, are you okay? Is your head okay? Is your head working okay? Like, that's what I mean. That's not cultural. That's humane topic. It's not us being racist. Hold on. Like, stop playing this victim card everywhere you go. Like, stop this mentality that we Westerners are just the colonizers. Not all of us are colonizers. And wake up. Like, you have done crappy stuff too. Like, if we speak about Japan, hey, hello, Pearl Harbor, does it tell you something when I say Pearl Harbor? Like, come on. Like, stop it. Like, come on. Like, stop. Like, fuck. I don't know what to say. 100 years later, and you still talk about the colonies, and we're not even all British and Americans. Fuck off. Like, what else I have to say? Fuck you. And yeah, like, he threw like the I don't know, the Uno card, like the card, like, you know, the I am an immigrant, you have to respect me, for no apparent reason. There was no cultural discussion in the fucking thread. That was just like the Westerners saying that the movie in Netflix was crappy, and Netflix is not Japanese, it's like our media. So, like, that's completely uncalled for, calling us for racism. And he said it's my culture. Bestie, sorry to bring it out like that, but it's my culture too. to read the Theogony by Hesiod and the Homeric epics and Plato and Aristotle and many other crappish philosophers out there, and I call them out even though they are my culture, even though they are hardcore culture of mine. I am an Athenian and most of these guys are, okay? And I'm calling them out, I'm calling the shit out of their ass out because these people are saying demonic crap, and I have to do that. Even though they are Greeks, I have to be brutally honest with myself and say, hey, the entire Western civilization is built upon these fucking philosophy books, especially after the Enlightenment. I'm not speaking about Christian books, I'm speaking about the philosophy here, which are from my country, except from the New Testament that is, but I'm speaking about philosophy, okay? And philosophy, you shouldn't go near philosophy. That's what I'm saying, and I'm being brutally honest with everybody. I say, this is my culture, you should stay the fuck away from it because it is dangerous, and I am being brutally honest, and I'm criticizing what has to be criticized and judged, and that's not racism. Fuck off, like I am a Greek and I'm speaking against Greek stuff, you know. And then I'm seeing like people excusing the unexcusable. Like, you know, I understand somebody to get tricked with Greek philosophy because it is all about flowers and virtue and cute grass and environment and animals. I understand that you can be tricked by Greek philosophy because it is built to deceive you. This is how it was built by my ancestors, and I can understand people reading these books and say, oh, actually this is all love and light. I get that, but come on, the story from Japan is demonic without even covering itself. I had said a while ago to my ex, if the Greeks were wearing burqa to cover themselves up, the Chinese mystics and the Japanese mystics are just wearing underwear and they're going in the beach to take photographs. They don't cover anything from their bullshit. We at least covered something. So if you are deceived by the Greeks, fair enough, you have actually a point to be deceived, but you shouldn't be deceived by Japanese and Chinese because they are actually the mainstream villain archetype mentality from Barbie movies. You see them with a long nose, with a very strange face. They're like, they are like that, and you're like, this is the bad guy, and nobody in the movie notices that they are the bad guy, and they are like, that's a very nice person, and you are 5 years old in your house, and you say, can't you see? You are an adult. You are the age of my mother. You can't see that this guy is actually the bad guy. That's what I'm talking about here. That the stories from that area back there are that evidently so demonic, and you shouldn't watch them and consume them and bring them to the West as well. That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying also about Greece. You can't really see that they are demonic, so if you know that, like I do, just tell everybody, don't consume them, don't take them to the east, don't take them to the south, don't take them anywhere, just fucking forget about them. That's what I'm saying. Fuck, I don't even remember why did I start this conversation, but I'm very angry. Let's start with the game. Okay, I remember the fucking trailer, right? That's what bring me to this conclusion right now. The fucking movie is connected to the fucking trailer that I watched. Okay. So yeah, guys, the moral lesson of this, like, 18-minute run that I did is, don't be an idiot, please. Thank you. Cheers. Helga, what are you drinking? I'm drinking my water because I'm a person who doesn't drink water, to be fair. I have to be brutally honest with myself. I don't drink water. I am dehydrated because I only drink soft drinks like this crappy one, this soda. That's cream and soda. It's completely, you can see it here. That's like, you can see the bubbles. It is completely clear liquid. It's soft drink with, obviously, it's like sparkly water, you know what, like soda, right? So I am always dehydrated because I'm drinking crap, and don't follow my lead. You shouldn't be drinking crap. But yeah, I have a sweet tooth. What the fuck am I gonna do? Okay,
Great! Now my whole rock is covered in snail slime. I just had it cleaned when I moved in, too.
I know it's a very challenging situation.
I drank water. How much is that, by the way? Okay. 270 ml. Okay. At least better than nothing, I suppose. I will try to speak in a moment of this game that it won't take too much of your concentration from the game, so we will settle with the story and then I will start speaking, and I will try to play in one sit this level as well, like I did yesterday with the Halloween rock bottom. And I'm gonna speak about the astronomy shit, some theories about space and mysticism, how astronomers are like the worst mystics in this world and the best mystics of our age. That's quite oxymoron, isn't it? But it is the truth, you know. I will speak about that today. I was thinking I haven't really explained on my channel why I say some stuff about the astronomers that I say. But let's see first the story of Spongebob, and when we are settled with that, I will start speaking.
But could you stop yammering? I'm trying to concentrate.
Whoa! Cassandra wants to concentrate like I said.
That was sheer luck. Speaking of which, good news! I found that squiddy neighbor of yours. Just give me more jelly and your new cosmic costume will get you to him.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I like this level. Now we are getting somewhere.
Maybe I'll just stay here and nap under my rock.
Oh, sorry, Patrick. Balloons and heavy rocks don't go well together. Besides, we have to save Squidward.
Fine. Well, Squidward owes me a nap when we find him.
I look like I'm from the Stone Age.
Yeah, like some idiot who lives under a rock.
Okay, we have to find Squidward. We will go Stone Age. I like this level.
Oh, thanks, Squidward. Your two favorite people in the world are coming to rescue you.
And we will save Squidward. Okay.
Petcar, Manaka.
Patgar.
Spongebob. No blah blah.
Spongegar. No blah blah. I will tell you something that you will probably not notice because you aren't Athenian Greeks. Or Greeks in general. Or Greeks that know their shit in general, because I can't say that all Greeks know their shit. Basically they don't. Usually the Greeks are very bored to study, and that's the truth. they study just to go to the universities, and that's not my assumption. That's something that we know with each one of us. And well, I totally get it. I said, fuck, did they kill me? Fuck off. Okay. Did you notice how Spongebob said Patgar, gra gra, and Patrick was Sponggar, gar gar gar? What do you think this is? Giving you 1 minute worth of thinking, can't even speak, to answer yourself why this happens. Why? Hint. No, it doesn't have to do with science. It doesn't have to do with prehistory. It has to do with Zeus. That's the hint that I'm gonna give you. I'm waiting. Fuck off. Did you think yet? What's the answer?
Squidward, Banuga.
It is barbarian civilization. You get now what I mean? What did they say? Spotgar, barbar, varvaros. Yeah, you're not gonna get it if you're not a Greek. You're gonna get it if you're a Greek and a mystic like I am. What the scientists say is from the mouth of Zeus. They say that civilizations came to existence in a stone age when people were half animals, half people. That is a crappy story that the Greeks know from Zeus from 3,000 years ago that our civilization started. And he was telling people, Zeus was telling people, when he created us, he made animals and people, and they were the same thing. Because in Greek, when you say zoon, animal, you can't understand that in English though. Zo in Greek means alive being. It doesn't mean exactly animal in the like literal sense, like like the thing that has life but it is not human, right? In Greek, when you try to say animal like you say in English and human, you say άλογον ζώων. Άλογον means without speech animal, and εν λόγον ζώων, which means with speech animal. I am a with speech animal, εν λόγον ζώων, like I have mind, I am speaking, I have rational way of thinking. Εν λόγον means like you have critical thinking, you have rational way of thinking, you speak, you write, you have a mind, you rationalize your actions. Άλογον means it doesn't have any of these qualities, it's just pure instinct. That's the translation. So it's a being that works through instinct. And εν λόγον ζώων is like human, it means it works through mind, critical thinking. because there is a pyramid in fucking Greece that it says that in the top of it is the humans and on the bottom is the microbes. That's how the Greeks used to do it back in the days. Yeah, they suspected that the microbes are the real thing, and many civilizations are as well. We didn't just learn that crap from scientists 200 years ago, let me tell you. Okay, how to Grand Slam A, fucking B, okay. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so now that I explained that and now you get what I'm talking about. So you saw fucking Spongebob and fucking Patrick saying to each other, like gra gra gra. Why do you think this sound exactly? Why do you think like Badgar, Spondgar, gra gra gra? That's totally Greek coded. It's Western. It's Greek. It's Athenian. It's var var var. It's what we used to hear in everybody that was not an Athenian. To be fair, like Greeks were so racist that they even had issues with how Greeks were pronouncing their words. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So, okay. Okay, we have to fight this fucking thing. Fuck my life. Okay. So, what I'm trying to say in here is fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. What am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? I don't. What the heck? What I'm saying in here is that what the mystics did back in the days was to distinguish how civilized Greeks are doing their shit in the manner of how an animal is doing their shit exactly with other people. So the Greeks not only were like racist with animals, and you know, like if you are familiar with Christianity, you think that animals are less than humans, and that is because of Greek paganism. It's not because of the Bible. The Bible doesn't say exactly that animals are less than us. The Bible says that we are made in the image of the eternal God. That means that we share some stuff that he shares. That doesn't mean that the animals don't have souls and that we are better than animals. That's completely stupid. That's completely pagan and demonic. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I killed this thing. Fuck off. Thank you. And the reason, like, a Westerner wouldn't understand that, but when you hear like the most stereotypical prehistoric man sound you can hear is always gra 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 var var var. You get what I mean? Like, why do you hear this sound? It's because the Athenian ear used to hear this back in the days. And if you are like, Helga, that's an Australian video game. Yes, bestie, but Zeus is not Australian. Zeus is a Greek deity, and he's gonna speak Greek even in the Australian head. You get what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if the I'm not bashing the creators of the game, by the way. So if an Australian scientist decides to speak about the Stone Age and they contact fucking Zeus for that, Zeus is gonna speak to them in the Greek manner as he used to speak in my ancestors back in the days. He's not gonna change his attributes just because he's talking to an Australian. Yes, the truth be said, he would prefer you if you were a Greek and not an Aussie. That's the correct thing to say, but that doesn't mean that he would change how he spoke to my ancestors. He's gonna speak exactly in the same manner that he was speaking to my ancestors, and if you search for him in the Greek stories, you will see the totally on point match with the voice that spoke to the Greeks back in the days. You get what I mean? Know what I'm saying, right? So what I'm telling you here is that the prehistoric narrative, like, I don't even get why people are not even understanding that without my help. Like, what does history mean? Like, I almost became a historian back in the days. What does historian mean? It's when you have written records of the past and you examine them, you have the ability, the opportunity to study these records in the future, like in present and future, right? So there was a battle that happened in, let's say, 2000 years ago in Rome, and somebody wrote down all we had to know about that, and now we examine this. Can you hear the speech? So you guys study about this, like, battle. You know more about that, and you get informed, and you know that there is a valid source to examine the battle. For example, there was a battle, let's say something from my country. There was a battle that happened between the Persians, the today Iran people, and the Greeks, that is narrated by Xenophon, one of the historians and philosophers of Greece, and it narrates how Persians actually invaded us, and we tried to defend our borders. We didn't really want to quarrel with them, we didn't care about such crap, and they attacked. So how do we know that we didn't want to attack? Because Xenophon decided to narrate all the crap down. Hope I say his correct name, though, and that wasn't Thucydides or any other person, because Thucydides also wrote stories about, like, wars, like he was documenting such stuff down. Hope I'm not making a mistake here. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that, hold on, where is he? Okay, give me a second. This is history. Like, you read this guy called Thucydides, Xenophon, you learn, and like, why do you know in 2025 that the Persians didn't defend themselves but instead attacked Greece? Why we know that? Because Thucydides and Xenophon wrote down the records. This is called history. Prehistory, what the heck? What the fucking hell? What the heck? How do you know something that's not recorded in books? And you just narrate it to other people even though you don't have any record. You get what I'm saying, bestie? You don't know. Nobody recorded down. You say that these people in Stone Age were talking like animals and they were drawing shit because you found some drawings, and you make assumptions about who they are, and you don't have any clue because there is no record, historical record from the era. So how do you know that? And if you're like, Kelga, do you mean these guys that say this stuff are mystics? Didn't I prove you already, bestie, that these guys are mystics? The Stone Age people are speaking var, gra, patar, sponge guy. Don't you get what I mean? Like, that's obviously from Zeus. Like, it's like prehistory, for example. That's what I'm saying, bestie. Is the... Come on, hit me. Fuck off. Okay. Prehistory, for example, is Genesis. You learn about a guy named Abraham who didn't exist when the Mosaic Law existed. For example, the Exodus is history, even though people don't want to acknowledge that, that's because they are in sin. They don't want to acknowledge that these books are obviously history. They are, pretty much. We can say prehistory is Genesis because, yes, Moses wrote these books, like all the 5 books. He also wrote Genesis, but at the same time, Moses wasn't present. That happened many years after Moses, before Moses, when he wrote for like Abraham and the patriarchs and all that crap. He wasn't present. So what I'm saying is that that's prehistory. And why that's not problematic? For me, it's not, because that was inspired by my dad, and my dad told Moses, you will write down that there was a guy named Adam and a woman named Eve, and I created the world like this and that, and this is how shit happened, and this is how I met Abraham, and we made a covenant, and so on, and so fucking on and on. That's from my dad. But what you have from Zeus is this story here, the Stone Age Spongebob. You have a guy that is prehistoric, obviously, as we said, and he is not like, like Adam and Eve were people that fell into sin. These guys here are enloga zoa. They are animals that behave like humans, but not exactly. There's something in between. It's like mocking human nature, in my opinion. Save squid, best friend. So the way that he's speaking is prehistoric, like his brain is underdeveloped, and that's very disgusting even for people with brain development issues. We should not proud into such theories that the scientists encourage, because they are very disgusting for people who are in any spectrum, autistic spectrum, disability spectrum. We have to respect these people, and these theories are demonic, and don't respect such people. You are mocking their intellect. You say that the best person is the person who is with all limbs, all bodily functions correctly functioning, perfect, like like mind functions, I suppose, a person who works, a person who gives in the society, receives. All the other people aren't people. That's disgusting to say. We shouldn't tolerate such crap anywhere. And the fact that we do shows how apostate we are, because the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible says that you are human, you are this and that doesn't matter. You fell into sin, repent, go back to God. That's all that's all that matters in the Bible. It doesn't matter what your intellect is or not, because here it matters. It says that Spongebob in the Stone Age was var, and now he's not, he's civilized. That's very disgusting to say. You are like separating intellectual people from not intellectual people, and who the fuck are you to say that these people are intellectuals or not? That's so arrogant and proud, isn't it? How to roll a rock? Okay, you push A and fucking X. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I don't understand. Okay, so I climbed. Okay. So that's what I was saying about the civilizations, and yes, prehistoric shit is from fucking Zeus. And you can read Protagoras chapter 3 of fucking Plato. He says about the story how we were animals. We weren't covered in our bodies like animals do. What does it mean that God, the God of Genesis, Yahweh, who created us naked, he is not the same guy that Plato describes, because Plato says we weren't covered. All the animals were, and when we had to be covered, Epimetheus, whose name in Greek means I forgot to do my job properly. Promethea is when you bring supplies in a trip, for example. Prometheus, that's his brother. Epimetheus means bringing afterwards. That means you weren't responsible enough. You forgot to do stuff, you know. That's what I mean. So his brother forgot to bring us the stuff we needed. How am I supposed to go there? I'm not getting that. Anyways. Okay, I committed suicide, I suppose, there. Okay. Yeah. What happened was, give me a second. What happened was that Epimetheus didn't cover us up with anything, so we had to do it ourselves. Why doesn't he fly? I don't get that. We don't have the flying pizza. Give me a second. Okay, we have it. Okay. So, what I am saying is that what happened next was Prometheus brought fire from Zeus to us, so we are civilized. What does the prehistory records of science say? That you became a civilized nation, the humans became civilized when they started using fire. Disgusting, isn't it? Because this is what the story of Prometheus and Zeus says in Protagoras, the book by fucking Plato, chapter 3. That we took fire from fucking Zeus and we became civilized. And what does the science say? That people didn't know how to cook their fucking food and then catch jellyfish to wake the Duridon 1 hour of... Okay, and how am I supposed to be doing that exactly? Okay, makes sense. Okay, so that's disgusting because it says that we became a civilized species pretty much just because we had the fire from Zeus, and that is covered in both stories, like in the pagan one and in science. You say that we didn't cook our food, and people, they say in science they were dying because they didn't know how to cook their food, and they were eating raw meat and they were dying because they like they were eating germs from uncooked food, and then they received fire, maybe some lightning, they say, hit, and you can see this in many cartoons as well. Many like lightning perhaps struck a tree, and people cooked by accident food there, and they realized that this is better consumption than eating it without the fire, and this is how they started using fire and they started evolving as a civilization. And you also have these fucking stories that say that, I don't know how to say that in English, Hieropelekis is one of the weapons that they used to have in Stone Age. Like Hieropelekis means like hand, pelekis like what you carve with your hands, I suppose. Is this the correct word to translate it into? Like it's like a hand knife, pretty much, like a very sharp stone you use to carve shit on, you know. And you know, like, what does this story say from science? That we had to we had to protect ourselves through fighting. What did the story of Prometheus and Zeus say? That we weren't covered by the weather and all that crap, because Epimetheus forgot to cover us up like he covered the rest of the animals. Maybe I forgot to say this because I'm playing. The covering involved having for example, a cat has claws and fur, the canine, a dog, or a wolf. They have teeth. They have teeth for the predators. They have fur for the winter. They have what else? They have claws to crush the prey that they're gonna eat. That's how they see it, the pagans. And this is what the science says. The science says that when you were in the prehistoric era, in Stone Age, you were pretty much using tools. After a while, you weren't equipped with them. You discovered them by accident. That's a translation of the myth. You discovered these tools by accident, like a sharp stone can cut meat, for example. You discovered that and then you started using it, but you weren't civilized before that. You became civilized because of the tools and because of the fire. Anytime, Dad. My dad says thank you, Helga. Anytime, Daddy. Okay, so he's proud of me, right? He's typical dad. Where exactly do I have to go now? I'm not getting ya, baby. I'm not getting ya, baby. Where I have to go? What do you mean I have to go there? Helga, where are you talking? In the fucking game, can't you see? Oh, how am I? What the heck? How am I going there? No, okay. Fuck you. Okay, I'll go there. I'll go there. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have more to catch. So what I'm saying is that these stories are inspired by Zeus Bestie. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm telling everybody to stay the fuck out of the stories, because they're demonic. And yeah, in our age we see them through science, and this is where I was gonna speak about the creation myths. Okay, I got them. The creation or not the creation myths, the astronomy myths that exist in our age. That's what I was saying, and actually this fits very much with the episode today. Where am I supposed to go rescue Squidward? Okay. Where am I going? Where am I going? Ah! Patar. Like, give me a reason why they use this vocabulary. Like, you know, like for example today in Greece, when we speak about like how we hear Chinese language, the Chinese language, for example, we say Chin Chan Chong. When we say that how we hear, let's say, like French language, we say everybody says about many languages, right? When we speak about French, they are like oui, 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 oui. Like you are doing like the how's that called, like the alarm of the ambulance. When the Greeks especially wanna make fun of British accent, they're like cup of tea. This is how we do a cup of tea. And yeah, that's like how we know how the sound of the language comes into our Greek ears, right? So that's not like mocking, you get what I mean, right? That's when we are making fun, like in a friendly manner. I'm not speaking about racism, right? Like even Chin Sanchon and the we and all that crap, that's for fun, right? When we speak about Arabs, we say ha 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 ha, and that's quite a sound that we do as well, Greeks, right? And what I'm saying is, if that was just an impression, just for fun, just innocent, like speaking about other cultures, how you sound to them. Like I have seen Germans saying that my language sounds Akis Akis Folakis, and I was laughing. I was like, yeah, I suppose this is how my language sounds, like vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. That's how it must sound to a German ear, you know. If that was innocent with prehistoric Spongebob and prehistoric science as well, it would sound like that. It would sound like a language, but wouldn't sound like bar bar bar, var var var. The fact that it sounds spotgar, spongegar, patgar, like you have like r var var. It's not innocent, it's demonic. That's not the same, because if it was innocent, if it was, for example, a Greek person making fun of a Chinese person, let's say, for fun, to make somebody laugh, that's what I mean. Probably it would have like fake hooded eyes, probably a fake tan. They would say chinchanchon, they would eat noodles. It would be funny. It would be funny, like making fun of a culture, but to make the other person laugh with you, not mad with you. You get what I mean? So this one, that's not it. That's mocking people who either have disabilities, either have less understanding of the world, less evolved language. For example, there are many tribes in Africa that don't even have written word. They just speak their dialect. These people are mocked by such stuff like here, like must rescue best friend. Like you are mocking people who haven't evolved their languages that much. That's straight demonic. That's not laughing with other different people than you and making friends and building bridges and being like, I see you even though I don't get your culture entirely. Like you are eating with chopsticks, I'm eating with fucking I died. Okay. Even though you say like that, I don't understand. Like you eat with chopsticks, I eat with fork. I don't get you, but I wanna be friends with you, right? That's seeing somebody else. That's not it. That's dehumanizing. That's what I'm saying. It's disgusting. And when it masquerades as science, that's even more disgusting, because I can't even begin to prove, like, to people who are sleeping and being okay with that, that like, hey, what you think is prehistory and science is actually a myth, and the scientists are mystics. They are talking with demons, and they are telling you stories that are actually demonic, and you think that this is okay. And you know what? Hold on a second, bestie. So what happened to me was, when I was in the uni, and obviously I was an ex-mystic by then, my reader, who was a mystic and I didn't have any idea because he was a very clumsy mystic. He's an embarrassment for mysticism, to be fair. He said all the stories available. He said Genesis, he said Theogony, Popol Vuh, he said many stories that are about creation, and then he spoke about Big Bang and evolution, obviously, and he said that this is the correct story, and he said how much he loves Theogony as well. And I said, I believe all are myths, so I don't believe anything is like history. And he was intrigued and he said, why you say this? And I said, because when Moses wrote down Genesis, he wasn't present. That makes it prehistory, that means it is a myth. That doesn't mean that it is not accurate. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it was not written in paper when it actually happened. For example, the Gospels and the epistles of Paul are history about Jesus. Even if you don't want to believe it, that's totally out of the subject. It's your decision to believe if Jesus is the person that the Gospels say he was, or if it is history is written by survivors, so it is actually distorted version of the story. That's your decision to take. That doesn't change the fact that it is history, though, because it was written in the same era. the Genesis account is not written in the same era that Moses wrote it. It was written way centuries before he was born. Like it happened before he was born, and he wrote it after it happened, centuries after. That means it is prehistory, it is myth, and it was inspired by a deity. That's what I'm saying, bestie. So what happened is that what I told the reader was, this is a myth. Theogony is a myth because it says so. Like Hesiod was feeding his flocks and he was contacted by the Muses, who are the daughters of Zeus, and he was told that Zeus wants him to narrate some stories for the people to know how they were created. That is a prehistoric myth. Again, it's myth. And Popol Vuh is a myth. And sorry, bestie, whether you like it or not, even the scientific account is prehistory, because you have dudes who are alive in this century speaking about stuff that they suppose they happened many centuries ago. And if you are not initiated, this doesn't happen just because you woke up and you studied some fossil fuels. This happens because you are contacted by a spirit. I don't know what spirit contacted you. Was it Yahweh? Was it the devil? And the spirit tells you what you need to know about that. And if we speak about science, yeah, they are contacted by Zeus, they are not contacted by Yahweh. Yahweh contacted Moses for that, because these people, where am I going? I'm not getting you, bestie. I'm going back there. Do I have to go there? I don't get you. Okay, let's go back. So that's what I'm saying, that when you speak about, like, I don't get that. Do I have to fly? Ah, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So what happened was, yeah, people today in science, they're contacted by Zeus, whether they wanna admit it or not. Bestie, if you are a scientist watching me, yeah, admit it. Okay, quit the crap. I know what you're doing there. Okay, I've done it too, bestie. Stop hiding. Okay, I'm seeing you. Thank you, bestie. Fuck you. So what I'm saying now is about astronomy, right? I promised I was gonna run astronomy. So what is happening with astronomy is exactly the same thing. You have idiots in the community that they are scientists, that is, that they are speaking with Zeus and they are saying their crap because, for example, there was, I might be not really accurate with the dates. You can actually search my crap online and you can see what I'm talking about and where I'm coming from and the correct dates if you are interested. But obviously I'm saying everything from my mind. I didn't study beforehand for that, to remember everything accurately and stuff, you know. So yeah, excuse me for that. So should I do that? I will try. Hold on. Okay. I did it. I can't believe it. I did it. I can't believe I did it with the first try. So, what I'm saying now is there were many theories back in the Enlightenment era, obviously. When else? When people were having a huge interest in Greek philosophy and how Greeks studied the cosmos and not how Christian theologians did it. And started saying some weird theories. For example, scientists back, I think, in the Victorian era, I think it was around Napoleon era versus or until Victorian era, something like that. Let's say this 100 years only. I'm not quite sure though. Okay, so they don't take this for granted. Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. Fuck my life. So, Fuck off. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, I killed him, okay. So they were saying that there is a fucking planet between, let's go back here, between Mars and Jupiter, and we haven't discovered it yet, and they were doing maths to discover this. What I'm saying here is that, like, people were able to see without telescopes the planets up until Saturn. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth planet from the sun. They weren't able to see Uranus and Neptune, the seventh and the eighth planet. Okay, so these are planets that are discovered in the last 300 years at least, and the latest additions in the list are Pluto, Gong Gong, Maki Maki, that type of planets that are in the Kuiper belt that is beyond Neptune, the orbit of Neptune. And then behind that is the Oort cloud, which is a very vast area in space. This is the outer layers of our solar system, the very end of the gravity of Sun. According to science, there are like planets there like Sedna that take even 11,000 years to circulate the fucking star, and yeah, that's how it works, and we haven't taken very good photographs of them because of this reason, because they are so far away. Oh my god. And back then they couldn't see anything, like even the Greeks were seeing only until Saturn. They couldn't see anything beyond that. And scientists after the Enlightenment, that they started speaking about science quite a lot. Yeah, the Catholic Church also spoke about science, and that's quite a misunderstanding, to be fair, but that's another topic. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay. Okay, I died. So what happened after that was many planets were discovered around the asteroid belt, which is the region like the... I'm only trying to take that thing and I can't. Okay. They were discovering many objects that exist in the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt, for your info, is the belt between, it's a very vast area of space between Mars, who is the planet behind us. So the planet order is Mercury, Venus, Earth, us, in other words. Oh, us, Mars, asteroid belt, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Sedna. That's how you go, okay? So they were discovering many objects back there, and they were thinking, doing mathematics as they did that there has to be a planet between Mars and Jupiter, because this is what their equations and their algebra was telling them, that there should be a planet between there, and they couldn't see it. And this is quite problematic in all possible directions possible, and you can't really see that unless you are a mystic, because how on earth does a mathematical equation prove to you that there is an object you can't see with your eyes? Can you see what I'm talking about, bestie, here? You can't see an object with your eyes for centuries and centuries. As I said, asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. That means it's way beyond Saturn. That means that Greeks could see this area perfectly fine with their naked eyes. And these people were saying we can't see an object even though we should. And their mathematics prove that there should be an area covered with a planet there. And that's problematic in all possible directions, because let's say that we do mathematics, just to prove to you my point. Let's say here and here are planets. So here is Mars and here is Jupiter. If I calculate the distance between here and here and say this is 1 kilometer, yeah, if you say there is a kilometer distance, yeah, the possible explanation you can give by divination rules also is that there should be a house, a school, a supermarket, a backyard, a graveyard, a playground for kids, a park, even a cinema, because it is 1 kilometer distance. And if you calculate that in terms of astronomy, the numbers are colossal there. I'm just stopping playing here because I'm getting disoriented all the time, okay? So when you convert this to how astronomers think and the distance in space, yeah, it's quite colossal, and yes, there should be a planet there, but there is a difference with there should be a planet there with exists there, right? Because you can't really be sure that just because a territory is huge, it has something into it. For example, do you have any grand hotel built up in desert Sahara, for example, or I don't know, Gobi in Asia? I don't think so. Then why do you say that there should be something like that in space, and you calculate that through mathematics? That means that you are actually using spirit language there, and you are told something by a spirit, and you are flexing your muscles in mysticism there, not actually knowledge. And they actually started searching for that planet, and they figured out that there was a such planet, and they found Ceres, sorry. They found Ceres, which is a planet that exists there. They managed to find it, and if you are like Helga, they found the planet. You didn't hear all the story, bestie. And when they found it, let's see again the fucking... Okay, so star jelly. Okay. So what happened afterwards was that, fuck you, they, back in that age, I don't remember what age it was, I think it was, as I said, 18th century, when they discovered Ceres, they announced her as the missing fifth planet, and that the fifth planet is not actually Jupiter, it's actually Ceres. And then something happened that they didn't expect to happen. You won't expect to hear that, bestie. They found a planet besides Ceres, and that is, you heard her name, Vesta. They found a similar object down there, and they were fucking disappointed for that fact, because they didn't expect this shit to happen to them. And yeah, that was disappointing news for the scientific society. of the age, because they said that a planet, look what they decided about my father's creation, that they, okay, we are gonna fight with Pearl. Or they're gonna cook Squidward. That's mocking Indians, for example, because of cannibalism, right? It is mocking Indians. Sorry, I'm speaking Greek. Native Americans. In Greek we call them Indians, right? Sorry about that. Indiani is Native Americans in Greek. In V is Indians. So it's quite close, isn't it? Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, so it was devastating for them because they decided that a planet should be an object that is alone. It doesn't have any other object around its territory. So, like Jupiter, Saturn, Earth are alone in their orbit, in their circle around the Sun, the one behind the other, that makes them planets. And they decided that these are dwarf planets, Vesta and Ceres, and they quit searching, and they said that what they did was false. It wasn't false, they found the planets, but they were different than what they expected. And what I'm saying here is that they are speaking with Zeus. They wanted a specific type of planet because they are elitists. This intellectuality, as they call it, is all about elitism. It's how you want somebody to be and how to perform, and you don't like somebody as they are. And if you start seeing God's creation like that, you're gonna speak about people like that in the end, because you don't respect what he created and you don't love it for how it is, and you want a planet to be a specific type of thing. For example, they call Jupiter a failed star. Why they're calling Jupiter a failed star? Because it's very big and it didn't become a star. Who said that Jupiter was a star or wanted to become a star to begin with? I think my father just wanted him to be a planet, and these people are missing the point in here. And obviously they do, because they're speaking with Zeus, and that's where I'm getting with the planet 9. There is a theory that exists even to this day. Now that we have evolved technologically from that age with Vesta and Ceres, and by the way, the asteroid belt has a lot of planets that are apart, like from Vesta and Ceres. It has a lot of objects between Mars and Jupiter, and I don't see them as science sees them. I see them as planets, and I refuse to see them as Zeus wants to be seen, to see them like like dwarf planets, and not exactly how the planet should behave, like one alone object and shit. I disagree with that. My father didn't never say that, so that's why I disagree with that. So now that we have evolved technologically, they say that there is a 9th planet that exists between the Kuiper belt, beyond Neptune. Between the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud, there is a 9th planet, probably the size, they say, of Neptune. Like, how the fuck do you know that? You haven't even seen the planet. How do you suppose that? And I read online that some Indians believe that. They had like prophecies about that, and that's totally unhinged if this is a real thing. I don't know if this is a real thing because I read it in a comment, but if it exists, it's unhinged. That's what I had to say. And hold on a second. So yeah, they are trying to find this 9th planet, and they say that it should be the same size of Neptune, and it should be around Sedna and Neptune, beyond Pluto and behind Sedna, something like that, or even above Sedna. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I don't know how to be fair here. And fuck off, I hate this level. I remember this level and I hated it. Fuck off, I hate this level. Fuck off, I took the underwear and I lost it. Okay, she killed me, obviously. So, yeah. They are trying to find this ninth planet and they are doing maths again. Like, I'm like, you haven't learned nothing from the previous time when you did that like 200 years ago with Vesta and Ceres. Like, you're not gonna find anything, bestie. You fuck off. Like, I don't know what the problem of these people is. Like, they are trying to find planets. They find dwarf planets. It's like my dad being to them like, you know, hey, you are trying to find a planet. There you are, take a planet if you are so interested into my creation. And they find the planet and they're like, no, this is a dwarf planet. It has other objects around it. My dad's laughing. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? He says I'm funny. Stop it. Like, they say that crap unapologetically, obviously. They try to find the planet and then they find the planet and they're like, no, I wanted the planet to be alone and shit, and they expose themselves that they are talking with Zeus. That's what I'm saying. Like, that they are, only Zeus has qualifications for something. Like, no, you will be a person but you will have a rational mind. No, you will be from Athens. No, this and that. Like, this is so Zeus core, it's actually painful for me. Okay, my father says this is why it happens. This is why he gives them the planets after they are searching for them. Like, he says that's why he helps them discover them after they have the questions, so that they see what they asked for and prove everybody that they are actually speaking with the devil, because they have specific qualifications, as I said. And they are not interested in creation. They are just being like doing elite stuff. Like, they are, I don't know how to translate what he said. Like, they are just having like elite issues. Like, they wanna be superior people. That's what he says. Like, they only care about being a deity. Okay, he says, I can translate this as they are trying to become deities, and they expect the deity to be in a specific perfect manner in their own understanding, however, and that's why they don't like what he gives them, because he gives them small things. Okay, so he says, the small things are what interest me. That's why the sun is a small star compared to other stars like Betelgeuse and UI Scuti. But people would prefer a bigger star because this shows them sign of divinity, and that's why they call seriously, Dad. That's why they call Jupiter a failed star, because he is big but not big enough to become a star. And they think you have to be big enough to be a star, and that's not the case. Because if this was the case, he says, he would have created all the stars the same size as UI Scuti, but he has many sizes because he likes diversity in his space. That's what he says. Helga, do you hear him speaking like that and you just translate? Sometimes he speaks to me and I translate in English. some other times, like right now as I spoke, he just takes my mouth and he speaks through me, and I'm just moving my mouth and like I'm not thinking what I'm saying. Like sometimes he can speak like when I started speaking, and I couldn't translate. I was translating myself what he told me, and I didn't. I was thinking myself like I had a message and I was translating myself. But when he started speaking about stars, he took my mouth and he was speaking through me without me doing anything. Like I just use my mouth. I just provide my mouth, and like he speaks through me and I'm not thinking of what I'm saying. He just speaks and he's just using my mouth. No, it's not scary, don't be afraid. It's actually very cool when it happens. So don't think like uh that happens without my consent or anything. No, it's actually very cool, and you feel very happy and you feel his presence, and it's actually very nice. So don't think like you wouldn't want that to happen to you. It's actually very cool. Okay, and my father happens to be God, so that's way better than you know calculating shit with Zeus. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm dying. I'm dying. I will die. That was uncalled for. Okay, we finished that. We saved him.
Tail out foe, Spongebob! Tail out foe! Huh? Squad trapped here with two morons? No!
Unga jokey.
Okay, I finished the level. I think I made it very fast this time. Okay, so hope you liked the run. It was a little bit tricky for me to play such a difficult level, and speaking, hope you learned something. However, I covered everything I needed to cover today. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was entertaining as well, because we also played the fucking game in here, and we rescued my best character, my favorite character, Squidward.
Squidward, I don't know if you've noticed, but I want you to hear it from me first. You're still talking like a cave squid.
Gaga.
Kaga.
Looks like Squidward's vocabulary is stuck between the cosmic rifts.
Madam Cassandra will help us get it back.
Okay, so let's talk to Cassandra. I will stop the recording here.
My favorite sponge lackey has returned. With lots of jelly, I hope.
Aye, aye, Cassandra. But can you use it to restore Squidward's vocabulary? It kind of got lost in all the cosmic chaos.
This precious jelly is not to be wasted on the minor inconveniences of a bald sea critter. This is about the big, the really big, the biggest picture! My once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for world domination. I mean saving the world.
Well, if you can't help Squidward, I gotta find someone who can. has a way with words. Someone with a vast vocabulary. But who?
Oh, how about Gary?
Ah, yeah.
That's a great idea. Gary's a well-read master of linguistic finesse, and he definitely has a book or two that'll help Squidward. Let's check out his library right away.
As you can see,
Plus he knows how to say meow.
Oh boy. Well, when you finish that, here's a new cosmic costume for your next jelly run.
so that is the Jesta, and we will be going to the medieval castle.
Ready to rescue another companion.
Old, unpredictable self.
We will go to the medieval castle, but now we have to locate Gary's book stash near Spongebob's pineapple. Yeah, so we will go here.
Remember what happened last time, Patrick? The no food and drink sign is there for a reason.
The food on the sign is what always makes me hungry.
Okay, so search for dictionaries. Okay,
Is that snail slime? Gary must have read this book recently.
so as you can see, he has to become an intellectual. Can you see that? So that's the lesson.
Patrick, let's go back to Squidward.
These are lessons from the mystics. You have to stop being a varvar. You have to educate yourself. That's what.
Pumpkins are smiling.
That's what.
What's so funny?
That's what all this fuss is about: civilization and barbarity. Okay.
This book will help you find the right words again, Squidward. After all, it helped Gary to learn all those fancy expressions he uses.
Okay. So now I have to find the new portal and I'm gonna finish the level, but as you can see, that's what I said, like Squidward had to learn new vocabulary in order to become civilized, in order not to be a barbarian that he's speaking cave squid languages. Yes, it is fun. I'm not saying the game is demonic, the game is a fun game, and don't see the game as demonic. I'm not saying that. I'm saying where the stories come from. I'm explaining the Stone Age, like
No more chafing.
not mentality exactly, the
It's amazing. I can trick or treat every day of the year now.
like the theories and the origins of the theories and prehistoric theories and astronomy theories. All this come from mysticism. All this comes from the demons. Okay, from the spirits. That's what I was saying to you. Anyways, so hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was educational. I hope it was informative and entertaining as well, because I hate school and that's why I prefer to teach through Spongebob and literature and movies, because I hate education deep down, to be fair. I always did. I was always bored to go to school. Yeah, I have to confess that. And I have learned a thing or two because I was always alone and I was preferring to study books and shit. And now that I am an ex-mystic,
I can trick or treat every day of the
and I have talked with demons in the past, and as Christopher Lee had said, you shouldn't mess with the occult, and I have not just messed with the occult, I was leading the occult. Stay away from paganism, stay away from mysticism, stay close to Yahweh, become a very devout Christian, become a very devout Bible studying person. The Bible is the only school you should be teaching yourself, okay? Anyways, hope you enjoyed and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.